What's up, everybody? Welcome to Narco Cop MMA, and this is the Lambo Plays podcast, episode 99. We're almost to 100, Timothy. I'm your host, Mike, along with my co-host here, Timothy Troiano, and this is for UFC 303. We had a 2-week break. I was in Vegas playing a lot of poker, kind of freaking cashed out from poker. I mean, a lot of hours, and I was tired. I couldn't wait to get back home. I couldn't wait to actually get on this YouTube channel and do some Lambo Plays podcast. I did do it on Spaces last week. We hit a big bet on my favorite prop, actually, which was Felipe Lima sub. Also hit the sub 3, which was insane. But yeah, we're back this week. UFC 303, 13 fights. Timothy Troiano in the house. He has CrossFit on, Big Ten hat on. Yeah. What do you think of this 303 card, Tim?
I think some good fights. I just think I'm a little shaky on some of these fucking fights for props, to be honest. I think it's a little bit tricky this week, but excited to chop it up with you and see if we can find some good spots for the people.
Yeah, some of these props are a bit shaky. You know, dude, Peyton Talbot, the one sticks out 2-3 round. I mean, rounds 2-3. I've never seen anything like it. Plus 200, plus 3 something. I'm like, what are these, man? People, these books are just on them, man. And I honestly, I think I'm not even exaggerating. I think our show has something to do with it. I mean, we're probably the first show to do props on MMA, and fucking these lines have just been destroyed, man. So anyways, let me shout out my chat first and foremost. Luis, oh my God, I thought 2 straight events, no Lambo Plays. No, sir. We are back. Mushroom, what is up, my man? Elijah, let's effing go. Last show in the double digits. I like it. I like it. Bufu on the beat, what is up, my man? Thank you for coming back as well. Freeze, Dom says, Saturday UFC is incomplete without the Lambo show. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you. Traps, still waiting on my dub club to fix my Discord back in the favorite show of the week. Will hold me down until then. Wait, I don't know why that's happening, but I think I told you to message them and see what was going on. Kyle, let's go. We're ready for some plays. What is up, my man? Jackie Blaine Harrington, what is up? I'm trying to sit row 1 in the September. Now, we're going to try to help you out and make you sit in row 1 for September Paris card. Let's cash those tickets, says DA. Dixon Sider says, Narco and Tim, did you just see Shamil Musayev? Yes. I saw it, and it was an absolute destruction. There will be blood. What is up, my man? Joshua Frick in the house. Uncle Weezy, a hearty oi to Narco, Tim, and chat. Such a good card tomorrow night. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Chip says, what's up, Narco, brother? Are you excited about Yuri Alex too as much as I am? Hats off to both fighters. Yes, sir. I am excited. This is me saying that I'm going to be late. Kiwi Brew, what is up, my man? Thank you for joining as well. Who else do we have here? Azure, glad to have you back. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you. Glad to have everybody back in here. MMA Line Mover, what is up, my man? He is speaking in Hebrew there. I do not know how to read it. Kristen, what is up? Let's piss these bookies off. You are damn right about that. The more likes they get, the more sub 2-3 plays they give. Smash the like button. I appreciate you, Ozzy. Who else do we have? EHG has the GOAT emojis. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Glembot, what is up, my man? Thank you for joining. Dixon Sider is telling us what's happening in PFL. What else? Who do we have here? I think that is about, because I like shouting everybody. Jack Stacy, how are you doing? Luke Goblin, she says, in the house. Christian, let's get these. Yes, sir. Moneyline Mills, let's cash, he says. Gerardo, what is up? Subhuman in the house as well. Mr. Jingles, what is up, my man? Hunter, let's go, my brother. Not in the AM. Narco is true. You have 100 units on P. No, I ain't touching that. Timothy Johnson, what is up? Bloom Dog, capping service in the house. Tim is our last hope for Narco to join the Cardinals. No, I'm not joining. I'm joining a different train, though. Killabrew, what is up? Jay Reese and Chupacabra. All right. We have a lot of fights to go to. We have a lot of shit. I'm very busy. Fight number 1, Tim. Let's start it off. It's in the bantamweight division. It is the 20-5 Ricky Simone versus the 20-3 Vinicius Loke Dog Oliveira. Tim, kick us off here for UFC 303.
All right, so I think that this fight is, it could be volatile because I think that Ricky can be hit. He's shown that he can be rocked in fights. Lockdog has some meme potential, throws some flashy shit. Had pretty much the knockout of the year, battling versus Max Holloway's knockout. Those are going to be kind of like evens to me for who had the best knockout of the year. But I mean, in rewatching the Sopaj fight against Lockdog, I mean, I just can't get over the fact that this guy was like plus 2,000 live, in that fight. And both, you got huge lines. And I think Sopaj had like major opportunities to finish that fight on top. I rate Ricky's wrestling better. I rate his submission grappling better than Sopaj. I think that he's got better cardio as well. Sopaj was, to his credit, he was on short notice in that fight, but I just think in general, Ricky can grapple for 15 minutes straight. So I like the Ricky side in this fight. I think that he eventually catches a sub in round 2 or 3. So round 2 is, I think he could also ground and pound him, but round 2 is plus 600. Round 3 is plus 900. The sub is plus 350. So I kind of like those lines for this fight. I think that if he gets to those positions, I think that the arm triangle could be there. I think that the rear naked choke, he could get mount on this guy and just start fucking him up. I think that the cardio advantage that Lockdog showed was just basically death gassing from Sopaj. So I like Ricky in this fight.
Yeah. I'm on the opposite side here, to be honest. I thought I was going to be on Ricky. And I said, Ricky's going to grapple fuck this guy. He's going to take him down, blah, blah, blah. But, I went far back in Lopes' career, to be honest, Oliveira's, Sopaj took him down. The first one was off a spinning kick. He kind of got him down. The next one was he reaped the ankle and kind of like he got a nice takedown on the second one. And, after that, after he got out of the second one, I mean, he kind of destroyed Sopaj after that. But what caught my eye, honestly, more than anything is I went back to the Sultan fight, who's a really good grappler from Kazakhstan. He grapples a lot in all of his fights. He's a pretty strong wrestler. And, when Oliveira's not doing like spinning stuff or, some of the crazy shit he does, and he stuffed every single takedown of this guy, digging under hooks, sprawling, doing the right things. And he's a huge fucking guy, man. Like if he digs underhooks and sprawls, like it's going to be hard to get this guy down because he's strong too. This guy is strong. He's not easy guy to just toss around, and, Sopaj, yeah, he got some good positions. He got that one off a failed attempt. I think Oliveira was trying to get that takedown and he landed on bottom. It was kind of like a weird angle, but man, he looks strong to me in all these other, I'm watching all these other fights and he looks very fucking strong, man. He's not letting these people get him down at all. He's the one doing a lot of the grappling. He throws a lot of fucking, the thing that I like more than anything here for him is the fact that he throws a lot of knees up the middle, a lot of flying knees. Those can catch Simone, man. Like they can actually catch him when he's shooting. The other thing is, I don't like Ricky Simone's control. The guys he's controlling are fucking awful. Tely or whatever the hell that guy is, like he's not very good, but he's not controlling many other guys. And the one thing with Oliveira is he's going to keep working. And, he does tire in fights, Tim. And in a lot of the fights, he looks the same, like you think he's tiring, but the guy pushes through, man. His cardio is one of those that looks bad, but he keeps coming and he'll keep pushing. And we saw it in the last fight. He was absolutely getting mauled and he had the better cardio later. And I know Sopaj took it on late, but look at his other tape. It does the same thing in other fights. He looks tired. He's looking like he's gassing and he's the one coming forward. He's the one that's pushing forward. So, I mean, Ricky Simone has a big edge in experience. He has a big edge in competition that he's faced in the UFC. This is under the bright lights. It's, it's a big thing, but I like Oliveira here. I think he might knock out Simone, to be honest. I think he's extremely, extremely dangerous fighter in every round. I think he can kill you in any round. He's always live to knock you out. He's throwing flying knees. He's throwing heavy leg kicks, by the way. That's another thing I want to say. He might actually chop Simone's leg off. You know, this guy has heavy leg kicks, I'm telling you. And he might need a couple of them, and Simone might be compromised. So if Simone is compromised, honestly, like early, and he can't push off and he's a sitting duck. I mean, listen, Oliveira's striking defense is bad. Don't get me wrong. Can Simone knock him out? It's possible. But I think the latter is even more possible because I think that Oliveira's chin is a little better, to be honest. I think Simone's chin it's a bit shaky to me. You know, I know Oliveira's been knocked out before, but he also takes like prior to the knockout against Talib, Ali Talib. He ate some fucking huge shots from that, and that guy hits very hard. I'll tell you, that guy hits harder than what Ricky Simone brings to the table. So I don't know, man. I like. I don't want to keep going on about this, but I like Vinicius Oliveira by KO. It's 4-10. I think he's gonna find it. I don't know what round. I think it can happen in any round. And another thing is, I don't like how Ricky, how he tired in that last fight, man. He tired pretty hard in round 3. He didn't look very good. So, yeah. I mean, he said he was injured, blah, blah, blah. I saw him on IG. He has his ankle taped. I don't know why. Maybe it's hurt. Maybe it's not. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Vinicius Oliveira by KO here. Fight number 2. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 9-3 Carlos Hernandez versus the 9-0 Rai Suruya. So I'm not going to pick Carlos Hernandez money line, but I did have a play on the over here. I really like the over 1.5. I think Carlos's sub defense is very good. I think his takedown defense is but he scrambles a lot. He works his way up. He can get grounded. He can get his back taken. That's a thing. But I think his sub defense is very good. I don't think this guy, Rai, you know, he's a little bit tricky, but his jiu-jitsu is not like next level or anything. It's not like the guy that subbed him, you know, the Brazilian, you know, it's nowhere near. So what I will say is, and this is, I think, very important. Rai Suruya is extremely young. One, he is 22 years old. First fight in the UFC. In the bright lights, in a big stage at UFC 303. Carlos Hernandez has more experience. Carlos Hernandez has very good proven cardio for 2 or 3 rounds. Suruya has good cardio from what I've seen in the Climaco fight, but it wasn't under these circumstances. It was in a nice, cozy, you know, place where he didn't have to fly far. It was in China or whatever, or close to his home. This is much different, man. And I think he has early success. I'm pretty sure he's going to get the fight down. I'm pretty sure but the adrenaline dump, the big stage, all these things can possibly affect him later in the fight. I still think Rai wins this fight, but I can't overlook round 2, 3 for Hernandez. This motherfucker always comes on late in fights, and they're like crazy numbers at plus 2,500 and plus 3,300. Like, am I not going to stab these numbers even though I think Suruya wins this fight? Yeah, I'm definitely stabbing those round props, man. You have to. There's so many factors outside of just cardio in this. It's the bright lights. It's the first UFC fight. It's in the U.S. There's so many things that this Rai is up against that I think adrenaline dump, getting tired, is definitely a thing in this fight. So I think he's gonna win, honestly, Rai. But yeah, those 2-3 props, I just can't ignore them. What do you have here, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think like you, man. I kind of think it's probably gonna be like either like a Ray round 1 sub or like a close decision for him as he starts to tire in rounds 2 and 3. I mean, there's some things about him. Like I do think he tires out even in like these, you know, not this situation where the situation, like you said, should make him gas out just even mentally with all the pressure that's on him and how much he's going to come out probably really, really hard. I think it's a good live bet spot. I mean, we talk about those all the time. I think it's probably going to be a much better live bet spot for Hernandez after round one. I don't think that Hernandez has he comes out after guys, but I don't think he's got huge power in his strikes. So I think that it's more. I like the decision prop for Hernandez at plus 700, and I like his split decision prop at plus 1800. I think he could be splittish and he could win, second round, be close, maybe even get taken down, get up, and then start piecing him up. Ray's striking is absolutely tragic. So I feel could he get better? I mean, he's really young, so yes, he could get better with this, but I do feel like Hernandez is just technically a way better striker and boxer. So I feel like if he can stuff a few takedowns, I also feel like Ray's takedowns are a lot of muscle and a lot of shooting from 10 feet away. So I think if he can defend some of these takedowns, I think the decision at plus 700 and this split at 18-1 are pretty good.
Yeah. He does shoot. I think his shots are really good though, man. He's fast as shit. He's extreme. And what I liked most about what I saw from him is the Mark Climaco fight, actually, because I consider Mark Climaco a pretty good fucking fighter. And I think he's right there on par with what Carlos Hernandez brings, but he's a better wrestler. He's a better counter wrestler and grappler than Hernandez. And we saw Rai was basically mauling him for a good portion of that fight. And why I said that I think his cardio is actually good is round 3 there. He hurt him kind of, Climaco, but he still pushed and got takedowns, man. His cardio looks pretty damn good. I mean, he wrestles a fucking shit ton. So
yeah, the plus 230 on Ray by points is not terrible. If you're looking to put it in some parlays, I think that might actually help you out. And
what is the over 1.5? Because I know it's probably gone now, but I played 140, and I think that line's way too low. Oh yeah, they absolutely smeared that line. It's 177, 180 now. 140 was way too low.
Yeah, that's what the plus 108.
What are they calling? Let's see. What are they calling here? Let's see. Adrenaline dump. Yep, adrenaline dump. Carlos 2-3 prices are insane. Yes, they are. Capping service pick 'em. No. I disagree with you wholeheartedly. No, I disagree with you. If it was pick 'em, I'd probably put a 5-unit play on Suruya. Honestly, I would. Pick 'em. That's not going to be. It shouldn't be pick 'em.
Yeah,
but I see the case for Carlos later in this fight. I just don't think he's going to stop takedowns early. He's just not. He's going to get grounded. How is he going to deal with it? If he gets his back taken now, I think that's going to be a round.
Yeah, live after, round 1, what do you think the live line is going to be, dude?
It could be huge. That's the thing. If he gets down, he gets grounded. You can get Carlos at plus 800 maybe. 700.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking maybe my Lambo should be the live after round 1, but it's the decision for him. I like it but it's probably going to be worse than this money line.
All right, let's move on. Fight number 3 in the heavyweight division. It is the 34-23 Andre Arlovski versus the 13-2 Martin Buday, and this one's yours, Tim.
Man, you just never know with both these fighters. You got a 45-year-old in Arlovski, and you got Martin Buday, who you just fucking don't know with this guy what he's gonna do. He really is. I mean, he's like a fucking box of chocolates. I like the Buday by sub just because Arlovski has shown that he is the quickest tapper in MMA at this point. When he gets down, you don't even need to sink hooks in. You don't even need to have it under his chin. He insta taps worse than anybody I've really seen in MMA for a long, long time. So I think if Buday clinches him and gets him down, I think it really could be super quick on a tap. So sub plus 470. Sub 2 is plus 1,600. Sub 3 is plus 2,300. Worth stabs by me. I think it could easily be. He could finish him by KO. He usually doesn't go after guys, and he could just clinch him, and it could be the most boring fight of all time. But yeah, I'll take a small stabs on plus 470 on sub and 16 and 23-1 on sub 2, sub 3.
Yeah, how about someone mentioned it right there, and I looked at it, to be honest. How about Buday by Kimura at 40-1? You don't like that one?
That's lovely, dude. That's lovely. He obviously loves that move.
That's all. I think that's all he loves. Like, I
need to mark that down.
But I don't think they. Like if you're gonna take. Oh, it is Kimura Americana. Okay, I was gonna make sure it's both. Okay, yeah, it's both. Okay, yeah, 40-1. Is
that MGM? MGM,
yeah, MGM per usual.
I like that.
If you're gonna, I think that's his. I mean, that's how he's gonna get the sub, right? Kimura, I think. Is that not all of his subs are? Supposedly he's a brown belt.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that that Arlovski, when he goes down, is just like, I mean, he also gives his back trying to get up, and then you have to sink in the worst.
Yeah, but this is, I mean, I know what you're saying, but this is not a guy that is gonna sink in hooks, bro. Like
he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to.
Oh, you mean just like get him? Yeah,
he really doesn't have to. Like it's just Aspinall was sitting on his side, didn't even really have.
Aspinall's so much more athletic, and he just like this guy is fucking. To be honest, between these two guys, I might think Arlovski is more athletic than he is and more fleet of feet. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, you can get 500, by the way, if you want sub on Buday. I think that's
where's that at?
What I like as well. I think I just think like Arlovski is old now. A lot of people have like fight going the decision, which it's not a bad bet. I think it's not a bad bet at all. But honestly, like Arlovski, I heard, I don't know, someone was saying this might be his last fight. I don't know how true that is. But I do think Buday, to use a little bit of his brain. I mean, last fight he tried to, I think, in the clinch, try to get this fight. But the other guy was just a much better grappler. But Arlovski should, I mean, if he gets Arlovski down, he's probably going to be in trouble. This guy's a big dude too. So sub, man, I mean, it's 500 on Caesars. I don't mind it whatsoever. It could happen probably any round, honestly. Like if he gets on top of him, right? I mean, Arlovski's kind of like screwed, right?
Yep.
Don't you think? So,
yes.
And it could be ground and pound too, which is a bit annoying, but I'm going to go with sub at plus 500 for Martin Buday. Fight number 4. It is in the strawweight division. It is the 18-12 Michelle Waterson-Gomez versus the 13-8 Jillian Robertson. And I'll be kind of quick with this. I'll take Robertson by sub at plus 265. Kind of my thinking is, Michelle Waterson really hasn't faced girls that have grappled her much. Girls that are very, very good on the ground. Now at 115, I feel like Robertson has a little bit more of an advantage of getting fights to the ground, even though her wrestling is not great. But she tends to get every fight to the ground somehow, some way, and she gets into these great positions. She's the much better grappler of the two. I mean, what else is there to say? Like Michelle Waterson-Gomez is old now at 38. She took an absolute ass whipping last time out. I mean, a bad beating. I mean, that was a very bad beating against who was it that beat her up very bad?
Marina Rodriguez. I mean, that was an absolute bad beating, bro. Fight should have been stopped. They didn't stop it. She took more of a beating. Yeah, I mean, if Robertson gets this fight to the ground, and I know Michelle Waterson's competent down there. Don't get me wrong. She's not like she sucks on the ground. Absolutely not. But the girl's been subbed multiple times, and she's, in my opinion, now facing the best jiu-jitsu girl that she's faced in a long time, maybe since Rose. And Rose, I can venture to say maybe Robertson's better than Rose, to be honest. So, yeah, I mean, what is there to look at? It's plus 265. I think it's a decent line, and I think she might actually get the sub here, maybe in 2-3. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think it's a sub. I also think that it's stupid. I think we're seeing stupid lines again on the same one that we cashed on Jillian the last fight on the KO 2-3 versus Pollyanna. I mean, like, Was it? Yeah, it was Pollyanna, right? That she did that too. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Jillian's like not just she's not just like a sub machine. Like she sets up her subs with major elbows and fucks these girls up on the ground, and then she can pass and advance in position. So I agree with you that I would lean sub, but I'm probably going to play round 2, round 3. I honestly, I think that it is a sub, but I think round 2, round 3 at 650 and 850, and then KO2, KO3 at 32 and 40 to 1 are like, I just think it's possible that she could flatten her out. I think she could just start getting to mount or getting to a really advantageous position against her and just throwing elbows and then having the ref just stop it. So I think that it's a situation where those are like must plays again. I mean, they didn't adjust the lines at all on her by KO from her last fight, and I do feel like she's got some serious ground and pound to set up the subs. So I do agree with you that I think that the sub is the way to go. I'm going to put that in the Lambo parlay or one of the Lambo parlays. So I do agree with you. I think that that's the way to go. But these KO2, KO3 props are fucking too juicy. She's got 8 of her 11 finishes are in round 2 or 3. So I think that it probably will take her a little bit of time to get.
Yeah. I think even what's more important is for you, for your bet actually, is because Waterson's very, very tough, right? I think she's extremely tough. She's not easy to KO, but the beating that she took last time at 38 years old or whatever, like she might not come back well after that beating, right? So
yeah. Also, Marina got her down in that fight, and if you tell me, like, I know that Waterson has fought some wrestlers like Carla and stuff takedowns many years ago, but like, if you're telling me that Marina Rodriguez is getting you down, like there's no question in my mind that Jillian doesn't have great wrestling, but she's got better wrestling than Marina Rodriguez.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Fight number 5. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 8-0 Peyton Talbot versus the 12-2 Yanis Ghori. What do you have here, Tim?
I've got like the worst props of all time here. I think it's like here's what I think. I think that you're just tragic lines on round 2 and round 3. I do think that it's possible that it's round 2, round 3 for him. Clearly, the lines are almost unbettable at this point. They're just the worst prop lines of all time. So I'm going to give something that I don't think hits, but I do think that it's kind of a stupid line. If it's like, it's totally narrative based, but it's like, if Talbot wants to show off his all around game in this fight or just a club and sub, like I do feel like if he wants to kind of show off and show that he's got more of an all around game than just beating the shit out of guys with his fists, I do think that the sub 2-3 at 20 to 1 and 25 to 1 and the sub at 6 to 1 are like, they're the Lambos that, again, I don't think that they hit. I think it's just round 2 KO or round 3 KO. And I think that, most of the, what's his name? Giannis, like, he probably tries to avoid the fight for a long time. So I just feel he's going to run away and just do the Monty Python run away here for as long as he can. But I don't feel that. I think 6 to 1 and I think 20 and 25 to 1 on like a club and sub potential, or maybe this guy trying to show that he can wrestle and grapple even though he doesn't need to, are just kind of lines that you gotta take some small stabs at. Maybe you just enjoy it and throw some lunch money on it.
I'll tell you what. Not only do you think it's not going to hit, I think it is going to hit.
Nice.
I actually like the sub prop here at plus 600.
Sweet.
And sub 2-3 is 1100. I don't think it's coming early. I'll tell you that. But I think first of all, this guy's cutting a 35, this Ghori guy. He's not a grappler. He's a striker, but he's probably going to have to grapple, right? That's the thing. He's going to have to grapple. And, there's club and sub. There's, Talbot has long arms, long limbs. He can easily look at what he did to Aguirre after Aguirre retired, right? What did he do? He got an RNC. when this guy tires, which I'm pretty sure he will with the body work, with the fact that he's cutting so much weight, what's going to happen? This guy's probably going to shoot some stupid takedown. You're going to get caught with either a front choke or get his back taken and get choked out. But yeah, Talbot submission, man, 600. I'm all over it. I think it's not a bad bet at all. I think it's 2-3 sub.
Let's go.
And the whisper bet of the week is the Peyton Talbot sub 2-3 at plus 1100. Yeah, I like that. I like the fact that this guy Ghori is going to have to grapple. And I like the fact that this guy Ghori is coming down to a 35. And out of his 2 losses, one of them is by sub. So, yeah, give me Talbot sub 2-3 here on that one. Moving on, fight number 6. It is in the featherweight division. It is a 15-7-1 Charles Jourdain versus the 12-2 John Silva. 2 very durable guys, 2 guys with pretty damn good cardio. I don't like that Silva missed weight by that much. He looked off. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with him. Was he distraught? He wasn't walking right. I kind of feel like, this Silva guy, like, he's supposed to take this shit serious. And, now he's doing this bullshit. I don't like seeing that at all. Like, missing weight by that much. Like, what was it? Were you hurt? Were you, what's the deal? How did this happen that, you missed weight by this freaking much? So I don't know why. I don't like that fact of it. I liked John Silva going into the fight a little bit at this price, but not anymore, to be honest. It might be an injury. Split decision. I'm going to go with split, Tim. One is moments over minutes. Jourdain might win the volume edge, but the moments I think come to Silva. It's plus 400. Yeah, plus 400 split is where I'm going to go here.
Took the bet from out of my mouth. Yeah, man, it seems like a minutes versus moments type of fight. I think that if there might be like slight grappling edge, slight wrestling edge for Jourdain in this, I don't think that I've seen like on a couple of fights for Silva that in his regional tape that he didn't have really great takedown defense, and I do think it's possible that Jourdain has a little bit of an edge there. Jourdain doesn't have a good takedown defense himself, so I'm not trying to like. What happened?
Gabriel Braga round 2 knockout.
All right, there we go. Yeah, I do feel like Jourdain is probably has a little bit better cardio. Usually, probably win round 3 in this fight. I do think it's probably like earlier success for Silva. So yeah, Jourdain usually loses early in the first round and then starts to get his reads and then pump it up a little bit more. I think his range fighting is better. I think that he's probably going to get a few shots that he takes that are pretty big shots. So yeah, plus 400 for the end split. Same bet. Don't need to keep going on it.
All right. Let's move on. Fight number 7. It is in the featherweight division. It is a 29-13 Cub Swanson versus the 29-11 Andre Touchy-Feely. Tim, send us the Lambo play for this.
Yeah, I this fight is really weird for me. I did feel like there was a bunch of ways that this fight could go. I think both of these guys are just not guys I usually like to bet on because, Cub is fucking old as hell and Feely's chin has shown to be pretty dusty at this point. So to me, I feel like I just looked at kind of like the widest line that I thought is definitely a potential in this fight. So I do think that either guy could KO the other guy. I do feel like, honestly, I feel like this fight could even go to decision and be close. But I'm going to take a shot actually on a pretty wide line in this fight because I do think that Feely does grapple in a lot of his fights. And I do feel that Cub tends to make some mistakes on the ground, usually against elite guys. And he's been subbed against a lot of elite guys. And I'm not saying that Philly is as elite as the guys that have subbed Cub, but I just feel like the athleticism gap, and I feel like the takedowns can happen for Feely in this fight much more easily than they could for Cub. So I'm going to take some stabs at some big guys. I'm going to go Feely by sub at plus 1,000. And I do think that if it happens late. So sub 2-3 is plus 2,300. I think those are fucking glorious numbers. I think that there's definitely worth small stabs. Again, I think the fight could go a bunch of different ways, but I think that those are good lines for Feely if he grapples hard in this fight.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it. I don't know. I think Cub is pretty experienced on the ground. He's pretty good down there, but he could get, I mean, Feely's good on the ground as well. One thing in this, when I taped this fight, I kind of caught something that caught my eye with Andre Feely. And that is that Andre Feely, when he is exiting the pocket, when they're exchanging and he exits the pocket, his fucking left hand is always down. And not only is it down, but repeatedly in his career, he's been knocked out by the same right hand, right over the top as he's exiting. He's constantly getting hit with this punch. So we'll go back, he drops his left hand. Ige puts him to sleep, right? Nathaniel Wood, same fucking punch, straight down the middle, 2 different times, hurts him in that fight from that same punch. Joe Anderson Brito puts his lights out with the same exact punch. And it's like over and over and over again, this guy's getting clocked with the same right hand. And when I went back and I'm watching Cub, the one thing that hasn't gone away from Cub is his power in his hands. And his favorite punch is the right hand. It's the right hand over the top. And he throws it really fucking crisp. And Cub, to me, is way more durable in the chin. Cub's issue is his legs. His legs get chopped off. But other than that, it's very hard to knock out Cub. I mean, look at this guy. Look at his career. He's been knocked out 3 times, and 2 of them are like the body kick from Giga and Jonathan Martinez chopping his leg. Outside of those 2, you have to fucking go back, way back against Jose Aldo landing a flying knee, right? So that tells me his chin is damn fucking good, Even now at 40 years old, I think his chin is good. It's his legs that are kind of giving up on him. But I went back and watched Duwadu fight, and honestly, Duwadu is a better technical striker than Feely. And at first live, I thought Duwadu got robbed, but on rewatch, rounds 1 and 3, I think, honestly, are Swanson's rounds. So I'm like, oh shit, I misread this fight live. I thought Duwadu kind of like won the fight and they gave it to Swanson.
I thought he did. I thought Duwadu won. I think also Cub thought that Duwadu won.
But did you rewatch the fight?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that
Cub got his back in round 3. Round 1, I think he clearly won round 1. Cub did. He landed the better shots.
It's more the reaction at the end of the fight.
Yeah, but you can't let that bother you. Like, you got to watch the actual tape.
No, I agree with you. I did. I'm just saying
that was a damn close fight either way, right?
I thought it was closer than I thought. Like after the fight, I was like, oh, I agree with you. I thought it was like a clear Duwadu fight, and I do think it was closer. I still think Duwadu won, but the fact that like when a fighter does that, that's always like.
It's bad, yeah, for sure. Yeah. But at the end of the day, Swanson KO is 550. And I honestly think Feely's chin has looked fucking very bad of late. Like, forget about, Ige hits hard, but, Nathaniel Wood hurting him left, right, and center is not good. The guy's a 35er, and he's hurting you like that. Joe Anderson Brito put his lights out, absolutely put his lights out with that. And, he's been dropped. 3 times in his last 5 fights. It's not like, he's been dropped anyways many times in his career, regardless, right? Yeah. And I think Cub is going to sit there and he's going to swing, bro. He's going to swing for the fences. And 550 is just too big of a line to me. I mean, I know it's 2-1 on the money line, but I think Cub, that right hand, I'm telling you guys, that fucking right hand is going to land, and it's going to at least, at minimum, hurt Fili. I'm telling you guys.
Yeah,
Unless he just grapples his ass off and there's no standing, which I don't think happens. I think he's gonna touch him with the right hand, and he might put him out with it even. So, yeah, KO for me on Cup Swanson at plus 550. I mean, I gave it to the Discord at 600, but that line's kind of gone. Next up, fight number 8. It is in the middleweight division. It is the 12-3 Joe Pyfer versus the 16-7 MAB Marc-Andre Barriault. I was going back and forth on this, man, because I do think Barriault is very durable and Pyfer hits hard. I think Pyfer wins, by the way, and he covers easily this price, by the way. That's just my take. I think it's a good matchup for Pyfer. I think Pyfer actually looked good in his 5-round fight versus Hermanson. It was just too big of a step up. Main event, 5 rounds. I think all of that together was too much. If it was a 3-round fight, he wins that fight, right? But Pyfer by sub is 550, okay? And, you know, we've seen him grapple. He didn't grapple much, obviously, against Hermanson, but Hermanson's a fucking tank, man. He's a very good wrestler. He's hard to get down. You know, he's very strong. Some of those things is Marc-Andre Barriault isn't. And like the thing that really got me is like I'm looking going back, and it's like, which one of these guys that he's faced in the UFC has good grappling? You know who stood out? One, Anthony Hernandez, and he got the sub on him in round 3. So it's like Pyfer has good fucking grappling if he wants it, and we saw he's used it before, and he's finished what's his name fairly quick. So. You know, why not strike a little bit, mix in the takedowns? You know, the thing that Pyfer has going for him, in my opinion, is he has power in his hands. He has good boxing, he throws good strikes. But with that being said, that opens up takedowns for him pretty easily when guys are worried about fucking huge hammers coming at you, right? So I don't know, man. Pyfer sub plus 550. I have a lot of subs on this card. It's weird, but I never usually do, right? Never. So this might be a good sign.
I'm usually
never have this many subs. And right now, as we're speaking, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 subs already. So yeah, give me the submission prop on Joe Pyfer at plus 550.
Yeah, I have so many sub props on this fucking card. It's hilarious. Yeah, I don't hate that, man, because I was noticing that Marc-Andre Barriault's like takedown defense isn't great. He's super fucking slow. He always throws like multiple combinations, and just like he always also tries to clinch guys up on the cage and dirty box. So I just feel like his game is just like he could easily be in grappling exchanges in this fight. So I agree with you on that. I don't know, man. I just think that he gets knocked out in the first 2 rounds. There's something about I just feel like Pyfer hits like a fucking truck, and I feel like Mark is the kind of guy that I agree that he's durable, and I just feel like it's similar to the Cheat. I know Cheaty hit him in the ear and then killed him, but I just feel like similar kind of fight where he's going to take one. He's going to try to take one to give 3 and throw his 3 little shots to try to hit Pyfer, come into range and just be glacially slow and just get fucking murked. So I don't hate your sub prop, but I just think it's KO1, KO2. It's a used Lambo is plus 240, or KO if you want to take individual shots, it's 450 and 750.
You're probably right. He probably knocks them out early, but if he does grapple, I think it's gonna my sub prop is gonna look really good, honestly. If he does,
don't you think it'd be like a little bit like maybe even round 2 for that?
Possible,
I could see, because I could see him like trying to strike with him early, and then
better striker. That's my thing. Like that's why I like Pyfer so much in this fight. He's better everywhere.
He's totally better.
He's a better striker.
Way better.
He's a better grappler. He's fucking. Now we see he's very fucking durable. You know, he's just as durable. He's got good cardio. You can't blame him on last fight. I mean, he kicked Hermanson's ass for 2 downs. He got his leg chopped off. That's what happened. At the end of the day, his leg got chopped off, and that's what You know, it wasn't like he was death gassed.
No, he was totally compromised in 3, 4, 5.
He couldn't move. He couldn't move. His cardio's on point, to be honest. He proved it to me. So now it's 3 rounds. It's going to be a piece of cake, in my opinion, for him. And a guy like Hermanson, he's throwing a shit ton of. He's not nonstop throwing strikes, kicks. This, you know, it was a tough fight for him. Let's move on. Fight number 9. It is in the welterweight division. It is the 14-0 Ian Machado Ghori versus the 22-2 Michael Venom Page. This is a great matchup, Tim. This one is yours.
Well, I know what the people think I'm going to call on this because I've called it every single Ian Ghori fight. And if he gets it in this fight and I don't call it, I'm going to feel fucking major pain. I'm not going to call it, though. I swear to God, I'm not going to call it. It's going to be – I can't – the typical passion of my life is losing money on Ian Ghori by sub. And I'm not going to do it because I think that MVP has shown that he's – really good on the ground, not good on the ground like in general, but like defensively, he just holds guard and he's got really strong hands and he doesn't let guys pass and he just wastes time until he can get back on the feet. He usually honestly is like, will give up an entire round just doing that. So he'd rather give himself a chance to nuke you on the feet. So I do think that, you know, that path for Ian winning a decision is way more viable for him if he grapples and just holds him in those positions. I don't think that he subs him in this. So I know a lot of people are betting the sub, and if he does sub him, then fuck him for doing that. So, but I think that this is a classic end split. It's plus 350. If you want to take shots on either guy, it's 6-1 and 9-1 for MVP. Ghori is just extremely risk averse, and I feel that MVP's style is just dance, connect on like, you know, throw three strikes a minute and hopefully catch you with a couple big shots in those 3 strikes per minute. So I feel like it's going to be these guys. It could be like one of the most boring striking fights where these guys are both, you know, trying to get their shots, but just staying really, really safe, and maybe some bigger moments from MVP and probably the minutes for Ian Ghori here. So yeah, plus 350, kind of small, but I do think that this fight going to decision is pretty high likeliness. And I do think that neither one of these guys really putting huge stamps on the rounds is also very likely.
Yeah. I mean, this is another one I was going back and forth. And it's like, what is good on this fight? I mean, nothing really sticks out. When you look at these lines on this fight, like, they're kind of saying, I mean, not kind of, they are saying when you look at Ghori against it, I mean, they're saying, you know, this fight is probably going to be close because the line's close. The fight goes to decision. It's minus 190. That's what they're saying when you look at these lines. You know, the decision props kind of suck. You know, they're like 150, 180. Like, they're just not very good. Split sucks. You know, Tim, your split, you know, it's just 3.5-1. It sucks. Honestly, don't like it. I'm gonna freaking go with sub, man, on Ian Ghori. I'm hoping. Well, here's the thing. I'm hoping that the fact that he's in shootbox now, it's 2 or 3 camps, whatever. They're gonna say, hey, listen, man, like Michael Venom Page, you just saw Holland like get these crazy positions on him, get it. Like, why can't you get these positions on him? You're a much better grappler. It's crazy to me that Ghori just refuses to grapple in a lot of these fights. You know, he did kind of try to go for it against who was it that he tried to grapple against? But
him not being a sub Neil Magny is just.
Yeah, I think the fact that this guy is so unorthodox, this Michael Venom Page in the striking, might cause him. He did try a little bit with Neil. Neil was just too strong for him, I think. Neil's just very fucking strong, and he couldn't really do shit with him. And Neil reversed positions and held him up against the cage. So probably was like, fuck this. I probably can't get this guy down. I'm faster than him. I'm just going to do that. But I don't know if he's faster than Michael Page, but he can get the leg kicks off, though. And that's where I think he can kind of fuck up Michael Venom Page with his movement. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give out the sub. It's 1,000. I don't think it hits, to be honest with you. I just don't think it's hit. But it's the one prop that I think maybe has a little bit meat on the bone. If he grapples.
Yeah, I didn't call it, but I may just have to donate $20 on it because if it hits,
No. You stay off of it, dude. With the one you stay off of is the one I'm gonna hit. You have to stay off of it. You're mushing the sub.
You don't believe in mushes. Come on, man. Don't give me that shit.
Oh my God. All right. Let's move on. Fight number, where are we at? 10. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 10-3-1 Mayra Bueno Silva versus the 9-3 Macy Chiasson. And I'll kick this one off. I just don't understand this KO prop on Silva. I know I've said it over and over again. I think Macy can quit. I think Macy was looking horrendous against Pani before Pani made a mistake. She was getting out grappled. I think she can get ground and pounded. I think she can get hurt on the feet. And I honestly think, she's going to engage in grappling and get herself like mounted or something. And then Mayra might just lay the wood on her. So, I mean, Fanatics has plus 1,600, which is a stupid line, even though MBS doesn't have a lot of knockouts. She hits hard. I'm telling you guys. And I'm taking a pop on that. Plus 1,600 MBS KO is enough for me against a girl that I think might check out if the going gets tough. What do you have here, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a great line. I agree with you that the KO is like pretty insane line. I just feel like it's most likely a sub. And I wouldn't play the sub at plus 310. I would just play ITD at plus 230. I know it's a used Corolla. I do like the KO just for the record, the KO2 and KO3 are 43 and 50 to 1. I kind of think that it would be something like you're saying, that a little bit of a gas quit job could catch her in any round. I think most of the finishes typically for MBS are early in round one. But what is the K? I got to check the KO1 for her just to see, because it's got to be pretty crazy. Yeah, 27 to 1. Like, yeah. Those are just absurd. Like, I think that it's possible that she could do that. I do lean the sub, to be honest. No, definitely no ends and split on this one. I do think that it's somebody finishing. I do think that it's MBS finishing in this fight. I just think that, like you said, Macy just has some quit vibes in her. I also feel like Macy is not that great striking at range, even though she's big and long as hell. She usually likes to get in the clinch. And she's going to be putting herself in the fucking, like, in the lion's den, I think, by clinching against MBS. I think if MBS could fuck her up in the clinch. She could take her down much easier. She could jump guillotine. Like, there's so many things that she could do in this fight to finish her. So I think MBS ITD might take some small stabs with you on the KO1 and KO2. And, might as well. I mean, I just think it's a great lines.
I mean, those lines are absurd. I don't care,
If you think she finishes, do you think it's 1-2 as opposed to?
It could be any round. I heard people like saying, "Oh, Mayra Bueno Silva's gas tank look horrible." I don't think it looked horrible against Pennington. Honestly,
she got fucking cooked. Rocky fucking cooked her. That was all that happened.
Rocky's the volume, the clinch, like. She's much better grappler, like more smarter grappler than fucking Macy.
For sure.
Rocky, it throws way more volume, hits harder, in my opinion. Like, so many things of her game are better. The only thing that bothered me, and I have a bet on MBS pre-fight, like on the money line. The only thing that I hate doing, like, because it's just something that I've been looking at lately, is a man or woman coming off a 5-round main event championship fight, losing, coming back to their next fight. They usually don't look good. And that's the only thing that kind of I'm like, fuck. But when I watch tape on this, man, MBS is just a better fighter, in my opinion. Yes. Like, this girl is a bozo. Macy Chiason's an absolute bozo. Like,
yeah, I cashed
like,
750 on her versus Panny, and that was extremely meme.
Yeah, I mean, on who?
On Macy versus Panny.
On Panny, yeah. Against Panny, I mean, Panny was winning that round. She was just stupid.
Yeah, she was just made.
She got her back taken so weird when she was on top, like absolute dumbass. But yeah, I don't think Macy's any good, to be honest. She's kind of like a size bully, and that's about it. Like, she makes a ton of mistakes on the ground. Let's move on. Fight number 11. It is in the light heavyweight division. It is the 37-19 Anthony Smith versus the 12-3 Roman Dolidze. And this one's yours, Tim.
Yeah, I'm going to add to my insane amount of submission props here this week. I think Roman by sub at plus 1150 is an incredibly stupid line. This is a guy who has got a bunch of subs in his career. He theoretically could have gotten subs on Phil Hawes when he fucking tore his knee up. He could have gotten the sub on Jack Hermanson, the calf slicer, before beating the shit out of him and holding that position. I mean, like, grappling and out-grappling Jack Hermanson and getting the position that he did, that's not fucking easy. That dude is a really high-level grappler, has really good jiu-jitsu, and he was slippery as hell. He was snake-like. So I think that it's possible that he can get takedowns against it could even be a club and sub against Anthony Smith. I think Smith accepts bottom. I feel like he just tries to play off of his back. He's kind of turtley off of his back and just really can't get up. I feel like Roman can pass and can just really do a bunch of different shit against him on the ground. So yeah, Roman by sub plus 1150 for me.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this, and I didn't know where to go. This fight is kind of like yucky, to be honest. I want kind of nothing to do with this fight. Late notice, up a weight class, this and that. Many opponents changed, left, right, and center. One guy looks washed to me in Anthony Smith. Yeah, he got a guillotine, but what the fuck, man? He did not look great prior to that, and I don't understand what this guy was doing. But at the end of the day, I took Dolidze sub as well. It's just like a kind of like a line play only. I don't think he gets it, but it's a line play. It's 1150. I think he gets probably the sub. I'm sorry. I think it probably goes the distance, but if you're gonna give me these crazy sub props, I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna take the sub and see what happens. But I don't think it happens, honestly. In all seriousness, I don't think he is getting the sub, Dolidze, but hey, this guy's rolling around for heel hooks, knee bars, stuff like that. And I think Anthony Smith has been heel hooked before. I don't remember which fight, but he actually has been heel hooked, which is funny. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. Moving on, co-main event of the night, and it is in the featherweight division. It is a banger, Tim. It is the 16-3 Brian Ortega versus the 24-6 surging Diego Lopes. And I will kick this one off, man. I kind of like Lopes here, to be honest. I think he's the side. I didn't know. Both guys are super durable, right? We know for a fact. Both guys are extremely durable. They're both tough. Ortega's has, much more experience, obviously. And Lopes has shown like he's really fucking good, right? I mean, Lopes is really, really fucking good. Plus 255 on the KO. Ortega honestly has looked kind of washed, bro. I don't know what to think of the guy. He's fought once in how many years? He was rocked early, very bad by Yair, dropped. And, Yair is not known to hit very hard. Like, that's the one thing I can tell you right now is like, Yair is not like a one-punch guy. Meanwhile, Lopes looks like he has very fucking heavy hands and he's just chucking bombs, and he's chucking them for all 3 rounds. His KO prop on Bet Rivers is 255. And his decision line's 450. I put both of them on here because I really, really don't know which way to go. But I'm gonna go with decision, man. I'm gonna go with plus 450 on decision. I think that the decision is just too big. It's just too big for 4.5 to 1, because if this hits the scorecards, why is one guy, they're even one guy's favorite, Lopes' favorite. You're telling me his decision prop is 4.5 to 1 compared to the other guy that's like 2. Why?
What if I gave you good news that Umalatov just got the sub?
Let's go! My big play of the day, baby! Bang!
Let's fucking go.
I knew that line was way off.
Let's fucking go.
How do these people not get in the Discord, bro? Just smashing. Never mind. Yeah, but I think that his decision prop is the one that's a little bit off, man. It's 4.5 to 1. Why can't this guy win minutes against Ortega? Like, he can win moments like crazy. Ortega's getting fucking wobbled and dropped and hurt and this and that. He's cut. You know what I'm saying? So 4.5 to 1 on decision is where I'm going to go here. It was between that and KO because I don't know how washed this guy is at this point, but this fight is at 55. And I think still, anyways, Diego Lopes is still the bigger man here. So I really don't give a shit. Give me the decision at plus 450 on Diego Lopes.
So I'm going to be honest on this one. I feel like I couldn't be more wrong on Diego Lopes fights ever. Like, I think he's the most wrong I've ever been on a fighter. So take what I'm going to say with a grain of salt. I actually deferred my pick to a person that's we all know, Mina Bay here, and I was talking with her, and I said, "Hey, you've been hot on Diego Lopes fight. So instead of me picking a fucking Diego Lopes fight, I want to give her a pick here for tonight. I've never done this before, so this is not my pick." But ironically, it also goes with your pick. So when I heard that you're on it as well, I think it's the way to go. I think Brian Ortega has shown that he can take absolute ass beatings. I think that he's kind of shown that, I mean, this fight will be interesting on the ground. I think that he could be a little bit scared of going to the ground with Lopes. He's mentioned that he's worried about his jiu-jitsu, unlike any other fighter in his career. So maybe he tries to stand with him a little bit more. Maybe he even can't get him down. So I don't even know who's got the better the wrestling. I think the stronger guy physically is Lopes at this stage in the game. So yeah, Lopes by points, but honestly, don't listen to me on Lopes fights. I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to make this Ortega. Last second. Last night. Oh, we can't make 50. No, we can't make 45. They asked him to make 50. I can't make 50. I can only make 55. So I know he took this fight on short notice, right? But you're telling me this whole fucking time, like, you didn't know you were going to make not even 50? I can't even make 50? Like, he knew all along he wasn't making 45. He's like, fuck it. I'll wait till the last very second where this guy kind of dipped weight. He lost some weight. And he's done. I think he was 149 or something the night before or something. Lopes was. And he made him lose all this weight because he's a big dude, right? He probably lost 20 pounds. He's a big dude. He's like, let him lose all the weight. And then I'm going to tell him, boom, hey, take it or leave it. You want 155 or not? Well, the fucking guy is in Vegas. He came. It's a big fight card. He's not going to. UFC's probably giving him a nice payday not to, get out of the fight. He's going to take the fight. Of course he's going to take the fight. So anyways, yeah, let's move on. Before I move on to the main event of the night, 481 people live in chat. Appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are the best. 306 on X, 175 on YouTube. Please smash that like. Subscribe to my channel, please. We're trying to pick it up here in this channel now that I'm basically almost done with poker. The other thing is, guys, link is down below. Please check it out. I'm giving 30% off to join. my Discord through Dub Club. It's 30% off 25, which is, I mean, if you guys were in there today, we would be absolutely smashing right now. So, yeah, link is down below. It's 30% off. I just did it. It's only good till today. So, yeah, get in that Discord. Trust me, you won't regret it.
Warning you guys, you have like one more fight to get more likes. And if these likes aren't up, then
What are they?
Parlay shit ain't happening. Sorry.
What are they?
Is there 52, 53, 54? Come on.
Oh, you want me to throw you a bone? Yes, I'll throw you guys a bone. I'll tell you the bone I like. Justin Gonzalez by decision plus 800. How about that? Take that one. Take that one to the bank. All right, let's move on, Tim. Last fight of the night. It is in the light heavyweight division. It is for the 205 light heavyweight title. It is the 10-2 Alex Pereira, the champion, versus the 34-1 Ghori Prochazka, and this is a rematch. Go ahead, Tim. Send us off here with a big one.
So I have two that I think are way more likely to hit, and two that are not likely to hit, but god damn, if they do, it's definitely going to be pants off in the Troiano household. I like Alex in round 2 or round 3. I think this fight is, if you're betting like a lot of units on this fight, just start to like just flip coins for $100. Like just, you might as well, because to me, I feel like this fight is just like the last time. I just said the same thing when I was reading, when we were talking about this fight the last time. I just feel like this is as volatile a fight as you can get. And I don't understand anybody that's making gigantic bets on this fight. Either one of these guys can kill the other. There are advantages for both fighters. One is technically way more sound. One I think has more durability and takes more shots and has a wrestling advantage and a grappling advantage. So, I mean, I just feel like there's advantages for both guys, and they're both extremely deadly they can kill a guy with one punch. So, like, to me, it's just like extremely volatile. If you're betting a lot of units, like I said, start flipping coins for money, and just if you like gambling, it's basically 1-800-GAMBLER. But yeah, I feel like I just think that the setups, I feel like the last fight, I don't think that it was, I don't agree with a lot of people's takes this week that like Ghori was like killing him in the round and all these different things. I feel like it was just classic Pereira that he just waits and sets himself up and just waits. And like he did it against Sean Strickland. He did it against Jamal Hill. Like he's selective and he waits and he gets his reads. And then similar to Adesanya, he chopped his leg, totally, dismantled his leg and made him not be able to move and then went in for the kill. I think it's similar. He started chopping at the leg on Ghori, and Ghori was like, I got to wrestle. I got to do something different here because I can't take many more of these. I think that it's KO 2-3, but the KO 2-3 are just 50 cents off round 2 and round 3. And the sub 2 and sub 3 are 80-1 and 110-1. So I do think it's, very, very unlikely that it happens. But guillotine, club and sub possible. Why not stab extremely, extremely small on 80-1 and 110-1? But I do think it's a KO in 2-3. But yeah, 2-3 plus 650 plus 1,000, 80 and 110-1. And if you think it's sub 2 or sub 3.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty insane odds. I know I've been seeing a lot of sub. Kind of talked about this with you. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be probably a KO by one or the other. Ghori was having a success. He was landing on Poatan early. He obviously got his leg chopped off really bad. So that's obviously a big concern for him. I think the knockout comes in 2-3. I don't know which guy, to be honest, but I like the Ghori numbers. I think if Ghori doesn't get his leg chopped off as much this time, I think his unorthodox striking was actually landing on on Pereira, but Pereira kind of like fucked up his lead leg. So he made this guy, he started throwing weird strikes where he was not even looking right from southpaw and like switching because his leg was so compromised. But he still landed some shots on him. And I think, Ghori kind of needs to drag it a bit before he finds a knockout, in my opinion. So similar to Rakic fight, I think 2-3 knockout on Ghori is not a terrible line. I think it's 550. 2-3 KO on FanDuel is plus 550. I don't think that's a bad look, man. One of these guys is going to get knocked out, in my opinion. This fight is not going into the 4th round. One or the other is probably going to get knocked out. I think, I honestly, truly believe it's probably going to be Ghori, the one that's going to get knocked out. And for him, he can get knocked out in any one, first, second, or third. But if the fight kind of extends a little, and I know last time it extended a bit and he still got knocked out, I do think it's kind of favors Ghori the more it extends. So 2-3 KO on Ghori. Like I said, it's plus 550 on FanDuel is the way I'm going to go here. Ghori doesn't check leg kicks. Yeah, I know. Everybody knows that. Yeah, he's just a bozo with them. He doesn't do shit with them.
He doesn't defend. He doesn't defend punches either.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But, Tim, we went through all 13 fights here. 503 live viewers. I love you guys. Thank you very much. I love the PFL. We crushed them today. I love my co-host, Timothy Troiano. I love my chat. I love everybody. Spreading a lot of love is the right way to go. And the best chat in the game, by far, not even close. Sorry to all the other YouTube channels. It just doesn't compare. Tim? We have one last thing. We have the Lambo parlay. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm just waiting. I just want these fucking likes to go up. Guys, you're better than this. Listen, I know it's really difficult to press a thumbs up button. Like you have to point your index finger and then you have to actually hit it and like you have to locate the thumbs up first and then you have to press it, and it's a tough press. But come on, guys, you're better than this. Fucking better than this. All right. Anyways, I got 2. I think I'm gonna round robin the 2-3 props for Ricky and Jillian. Think it's we talked on that one already as to why I think those will happen, and then I think I'm gonna also go Silva ITD, Jillian sub, Buday sub is like 60 to 1. And then if you added Ricky sub, it's 261 to 1. So I may be like round robining those two because I think that two if 2 hit out of those, you're at like 12 to 1 or 12 to 16 to 1. If you hit just 2, if you hit 3, you're at least like 60 to 70 to 1. And if you hit all 4, it's 260 to 1.
All right. Those are some huge numbers. So for me, Tim, I think I'm going to go crazy today.
Lovely.
It is. Are you ready for this? It's the Talbot sub at plus 600, right? It is the Swanson KO at plus 550. And last but not least, and I know that this last leg, I was kind of like going back and forth. I wasn't 100% sure which way I wanted to go. But I said, you know what? Why not just fucking go for the home run? So it's Talbot sub, Swanson sub, and I'm fucking going with Silva KO at it's plus 1,300. I don't want to put 1,600 because you can't really, that's on Fanatics, and the other lines you can't really you can't get them, right? So if you run those numbers, Tim, go look at what the end tally is, and then you'll tell me if that's a Lambo or not.
It's got to be like 300 to 1.
Oh, way more, buddy.
Is it?
Way more.
Lovely.
772 to 1. That's how I'm gonna fucking go out this week. I'm gonna go out with a fucking bang. I'm putting 3 huge big props together, and I'm fucking which Silva? no, that it's got
Bueno Silva.
it's
Bueno Silva.
Mario Bueno Silva. Yes, man. Yes. It's 772 to 1. So we're gonna go out with a bang this week. I have we're rolling here with props. I'm hitting them all over in PFL. We're on a roll right here. We're on a roll in the Discord. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Thank you to everybody for still being here. Please smash the like. Throw out some comments after the video's up. I usually respond to almost everybody. Josh, better go in there and put the timestamps immediately. I don't want no delay. So, Josh, if you're in the chat, immediately timestamps for the timestamps warriors. You have to do it. Thank you to everybody again, per usual. Good luck tomorrow. Hope you guys crush it. And one last thing, Timothy, let's cash those tickets for UFC 303. Peace. See you guys in 2 weeks.